Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther, the third, and man, Ringside crew, we are here. This is a special episode of Dudes at Ringside. We've had daughters of Hall of Famers. We've had future legends, women and men of this business, but none other. But this is a pleasure. We have, let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to one of the uh, trailblazers of the women's revolution. I'm so excited. We have
I
Roxy
love it.
tonight on Dudes at Ringside. Welcome, Roxy. Welcome.
Okay, well, when you meet with Roxy, you better beware because I'm really strong and debonair. This jet set girl never backs down because all she wants is the glow crown.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was for you. That was for you, Dudes at Ringside.
Thank you. Oh my God. Roxy, oh my gosh. So I'm gonna start it off with the question from a friend. So what do you think about the women's revolution now, and like them getting in main events, and like, does it make you feel like a proud mama of the women's revolution of what's going on now?
It does, but I have to also kind of even go back further. Like the women, I got to pay homage to them that opened the door for us. Back from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and then it was Glow in the 80s. I mean, we were the first all female wrestling TV show, so I feel like we paved the way, but there were pavers before us. So I'm always given, the female wrestlers respect there. And honestly, there are some female wrestlers that don't like Glow, didn't like what Glow stood for, but I think Glow changed. Instead of who was that with Macho Man Elizabeth, instead of walking out and being arm candy, we were the candy. We came out. We were, and we had fun. We had glitter. We had big hair. We had makeup. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. But it wasn't easy. But I'm going to tell you, it was probably the best time I have ever had, being around all those girls and learning how to wrestle because I had no clue how to do it. So now I look at the wrestling, how much it's changed. I loved NXT. I love what they did with that. And then I kind of, I go back to, WWE, and I miss Nia Jax. I don't, and I feel like they come and they go. You get very attached to them and then they're gone. One thing about Glow is that you would see our characters. Like, I can say I was in season 3 and 4 and we had 30 girls and we were just wrestling those 30 girls. Well, I don't think that would work today because there's a lot of indies and a lot of other wrestling shows, and you can't keep 30 girls together, and I don't know. It's just, to me, it's a scary time for wrestlers. I see too many good wrestlers either leaving WWE, walking away, getting fired, or it's when you just get really into their storyline. So I guess I get really kind of disappointed and I turn the TV off for a little bit. But I do like going to the indie shows. I love watching the indie girl wrestlers. I feel like, yeah, they fight hard. Delilah Doom, who I absolutely love. She's like an 80s type girl. And I went to it was a show where it was Brian Kendrick's show, a wrestling show, and it was just kind of like a theatrical type, and it was a lot of fun. And I went to the WoW shows, which was David McLean's, that, right?
Yeah.
And so you see those girls going from different other wrestling federations. So it's kind of like, I remember seeing WoW and I saw Santana Garrett and absolutely loved her there, and then she was gone.
Mm.
And it's just kind of, I feel like there's so many, wrestling shows and federations now that it's getting kind of complicated. But I do have to say something. I went to a show. It was a wrestling show called UWW, the Ultimate Women's. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yes, Jenny Santana.
Yeah, I think it's run by a woman, Winter. Winter?
Oh.
Yeah. So, in fact, I wasn't gonna go to the show. I'm like, but it's at the Globe Theater. I'm like, this is, got to be a good show, I guess. But I haven't seen a really, really, really good wrestling in a while. And nothing against anything else, and any other things, but I'm telling you, I sat in the back seat and I just wasn't expecting what I saw.
Mm.
And what I saw, like, had me standing up, rooting for the bad, rooting for the good, just going with it, and probably having the best time I have had, because those were some kick ass wrestlers. And I remember going up to Winter even saying, now this is wrestling. This is wrestling. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I know it's a bigger ring, and it does make a difference when you have a bigger ring. You're able to, do more moves. And there was a part of the show that was kind of funny. Forgot, I think it was Lucha Batty, or Batty Lucha. She was really, really cute, really, tough. She brought out a trash can, and then she brought out these thumbtacks. And then after that match, the thumbtacks are still in the ring. Next girl comes right up and just starts sweeping up, and I'm like that. That was great. They didn't pause. They didn't go. It was actually, it was real. And I just have to say, it's just nice to see that, and how everybody's excited for the show. I know I'm excited, so I'm a special guest at the meet and greet, which is kind of neat. And so I'm excited to be there and excited to see where they're going to go, because I think this is their fifth show. And the audience, because I watch the audience. I sit back and see how the audience reacts to the wrestlers, how they react to everything. And that's kind of what I did back in Glow. I would kind
Mm.
of study and see, like, honestly, the more they booed me is the more I played off them. So
That's the
if you
most
didn't,
important, you know? That's the
well,
most important part.
I want to be a bad girl. So I would do things to kind of get away with being a bad girl.
Mm.
And that was kind of like my match with Hollywood. That was a lot of fun, where she actually got out the paid, and what was it? Hollywood kicks Astor or something, some graffiti. So we had some really, fun matches. This kind of felt that way too. I felt the excitement for female wrestling again, that I really
Mm.
haven't felt in a long time. And it just, because I think there's a few other federations out there. There was something out in Vegas. You have Wow, and I think they're on CBS, and now you have this one, and UWW. And we
Yeah.
saw Katie Forbes there, the twerk queen. You know Katie Forbes, right?
The name sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. I know a lot of the wrestlers from UWW because of, as I said, Jenny Santana.
Yeah.
She's been on the podcast. She's the three-timer on Dudes at Ringside, and she helps out with UWW. So I used to hear in the beginning when she started working with UWW, she was always coming on here to talk about UWW. Do you have any more information about that upcoming UWW show? Like when are tickets on sale? Like how can the fans
Well,
get it?
yeah, actually, you can go to UWW Fed on Instagram, and every day I'm posting, and it's September 10th at the Globe Theater, and they actually have a link that you can buy tickets. I have a lot of friends that are coming, and I found out that the front row seats are sold out.
Wow.
So that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty great. And so I guess you have a meet and greet. And the really cool thing too is, if you buy your tickets by September 1st, you win a chance to eat lunch with, it's Melina, and why am I okay? Who's the guy? Melina and Rampage. Rampage. How could I
Wow,
forget Rampage?
that's
Yes.
big. Wow.
Yeah. So they and I think Dave and Buster's is he it's a sponsor. It's been a long day for me, trust me. It's been a long week. So that just shows that people are real. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you go on to what I've been sharing, you go onto the link, and if you get your tickets by September 1st, you can, you know, win lunch with them. So I think that was really a good idea. I don't think
What about
that's ever been
you?
done
They
before.
include you in the fun meal? I would have been like, wait. We're going to the Glow Theater, watch a show, and I can't hang out with a Glow girl and eat dinner? Like, talk to and hang bump shoulders with a Glow girl at a theater? I've been like,
I
yeah.
mean, come on, but then you also have a lot of amazing female wrestlers that trust me that are already stars. And now Katie Forbes is married to RBD.
Oh, yeah, I know of her, yes. I
Okay,
know about
so
her.
yeah, she was also in WoW. I think a couple of the girls also came from WoW, and you know what? It's just a different kind of a wrestling. It's a different vibe, which to me is great because there's room for all kinds of wrestling. Uh, but like I said, this wrestling show got me going, and I'll keep doing a hashtag. This is awesome because these guys in front of me would not sit down. They were standing up the whole time yelling, "This is awesome."
My favorite chance to do a show. Like, there's a promotion. If you ever come to the East Coast,
Yeah.
Roxy, it's called. Remember, I'll send you the promotion when we're done.
Okay.
It's a very nice promotion out of where I live in Pennsylvania. They're called PPW, and their one of their owners. His name is Paul Bow, and he's such a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you could ever get in touch with him and maybe do, because their next one of their big shows is in September 9th is their anniversary show.
Wow.
Yes,
September
X,
9th. Now,
September 9th.
where can you find it? Is it going to be on YouTube? Is it a pay per
Fight
view or
TV on Fight TV.
on Fight TV? Very,
Yes, Fight
how
TV.
long have they been around?
Oh, it's their X anniversary. Their X.
Oh, I thought you were doing something really cool there. Like,
X. X. No, most people be like X emergency. No, X. Like, it's
yeah,
don't
like, yeah,
call
what are you
the
doing there? I'll
X.
just,
X.
yeah, X.
It's
So
the X
are you
anniversary.
going?
Yes,
Okay.
me and my buddy, Valor Club guy, which is another a fellow podcaster and former co-host of an old podcast I used to
Yeah.
do a show back in the day. I'll be there with him representing, hanging out. I'll take a lot of pictures. I'll send you some pictures so you can see. There's a female wrestler definitely that you've definitely paved the way from her. I don't know if you ever heard of familiar with Danny Moe, the neon blonde.
No, but I love the fact that she's a neon blonde.
Oh yeah, if you saw her, you'd be like, "Go girl." Her her
No,
outfits
no,
like
no, no. I would say glow girl. You
yeah,
glow
yeah,
girl.
slow girl. And her husband, they're called the Neon Nightmares. That's their tag team name.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna Google it now. I'm
Neon
obsessed.
Danny Moe and Facade, the neon blonde.
Danny Moe and Facade. You got to text it to me in case I forget, but I definitely
Oh
want to
yeah,
look
I'll
them
send
up.
you them. They're cool. You'll love. Oh, they
Oh,
just
that's great.
everything for them is colored. Their shirts are like they buy their shirts. They're green. Her husband like he'll personally spray paint the shirt for you, like spray paint it up and stuff like
Oh, I
that. And
love that. That's
yeah,
great. That's
they
great.
and like there's other female wrestlers that I've had on the podcast, but I know they would love if I shout them out with you because you're for them you paved the way. We have the shorties from the UK. We have the Kiaras. We have oh my gosh, we have all these women that I've had on my podcast. I know they would love me shout them. Ruby Roberts, the
Ruby
basic bitch.
Roberts was supposed to be on today, right?
Yeah, she probably was busy, but I know she would be so proud.
Okay, Ruby, we miss you.
Yeah, I would have loved to have her today with me and my fellow. I know she probably would have had tons of questions for you. So
Yeah.
like as I said before, like you now watching this and you get a chance to be in the audience and watch the fans, does it make you feel like if you were in the wrestling now, do you think you would have had the same like gimmick, or do you think maybe you would have made like the way they have the heels in wrestling are like meaner and darker? Would you have
Yeah.
gone a darker heel than you were you back in the day, or you would have kept your character kind of like the same?
Oh, okay. So the truth is, and a lot of people know this, is okay, when I tried out for Glow, my audition picture was me bent over a Harley Davidson with a black leather mini skirt with my hand up in the air and hair just like ratted out. So I was trying to kind of lead them into, thinking that I could be a bad girl. So I was thinking I was going to go in and tell them, yeah, I'm going to be a bad girl. And a lot of people know I was a fan of Glow before I actually tried out. So I was watching Matilda the Hun, who I loved, ended up being my best friend, by the way. And so I tried out thinking I was going to be a bad girl, kept telling the director, yeah, I'm going to be bad. Well, when we all sat down and we were given our character names, I was given the name Roxy Astor, Park Avenue Knockout, good girl, rich girl,
Oh,
which I'm neither. So, and I'm like, maybe if I would have told him I wanted to be the director, a good girl, maybe he would have made me a bad girl. So,
mm,
one thing you don't do for a director, you don't tell him what you want to do. So he saw something in me that was kind of like over the top and uh definitely not rich. We all came there pretty poor and lived inside of, the apartment four at a time. And I don't know, there was just something he saw. Now, there was a big fight because I wanted to keep my blonde hair and he wanted me to have red hair. This is the director. He had this whole vision of like this, like from the 40s, the redheads. And so I'm like, there's no way I'm dyeing my hair red. So I got my Jerome Russell foam in color and just kind of foam it in. And back then, I'm going to tell you, Aquanet was toxic. It was a weapon.
oh, jeez.
So it was horrible. I mean, but our style stayed. So I kind of, built Roxy after I was given my outfit, my little
Yes,
tiny outfit.
like that outfit I saw it, I was like, "Girl, one move
uh
and everything's coming out."
Not really, because I had on four pairs of tights. So there.
Okay, okay. Because you see the girls' tights nowadays, like, the new girls come in with these little, like, cheerleader lollipops, and you're thinking, "Something's gonna pop out."
Yeah,
Like,
I think back in the 80s, because back then nylons were very popular, but I didn't like that shiny look. And I found out that a lot of the dancers, like from the hotels, and they were wearing this certain type of nylon, but it was I forgot what it's called. But it wasn't so shiny, but it was like a dancer legging type thing. So I used that. And and then used another pair and then used another pair.
mm,
I didn't want that to happen. And even back, with my costume, there was a few little malfunctions and I was just fighting with Matt. And my big thing was, okay, I'm Roxy Astor. I am rich. I'm the rich girl, from Glow. Why did I only have one costume?
oh, geez. You could just
So
say your daddy wouldn't buy you another outfit. You could just tell him
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah, yeah.
Tiffany.
Well, yeah. Well, Tiffany played it off, and so I think she complained a little bit more, and I was just happy to be there. I'm like, well, give me something on my shoulder pad. So then I got these jewels, and then I kind of started morphing more into Roxy, and then added the jewels for the little, little things, the skits we did, and I just kind of had fun with it. And it's funny because I remember in one of the skits, I had on a turtleneck. It was with Dr. Feelingrope. Remember that one?
Yep, yep, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't remember that outfit. Like, did they take that off? And then I saw that I had green straps, and then I had straps that kept popping off. And after they popped off too many times, they finally changed them, which was a good thing. So, and then I had my partner Tiffany Mellon, and she had like the cleavage, and then so basically my outfit showed everything for the Astor, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, like, so I was watching a lot of your like, the stuff on YouTube, like, the older episodes, like, and then I was watching the series, watching Glow.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of that stuff was, like, Instagram I mean, you like, Netflix's, like, interpretation, where a lot of the characters, like the professor and the Viking, apparently that really wasn't there. I know the Viking was only there one season because I watched the video. You did another interview with another podcaster, and you talked about that. Like, which characters were actually? I know that the professor, she really wasn't in Glow, right? That
No,
wasn't real.
no, no. The only thing that I could think that would even be close to that would be Zelda the Brain.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I remember hearing about Zelda. The one
Okay,
I'm
so
I really
Zelda,
sad about.
Zelda would
Yeah.
kind of like her, but I feel like she was a cross between Godiva and
Mm.
Zelda the Brain because she had the
The one
British
that
accent.
yes.
So
She was
I,
on
I
my
feel like they did a lot with they mixed a couple characters, not to just make one, but one character, the main one, Alison Brie,
mm.
looked besides the hair, the outfit was just like the Nitschka or Major Tanya. But I
Yeah,
love that. I thought that was a great character.
like, with you guys, I know when they had them go to Vegas, like,
Yeah.
I know there was not a lot of time to rest for you ladies. Was there a lot of, like, injuries that nobody knew about, and then you had to wrestle through it, and, like, nobody, like, had time to go to, like, doctors and everything?
Well, you know what? Everybody's going to have their story. And it's funny because I would hear like stories from the girls, even like later on. Um, like with Sunny, I think she did something to her neck on tour from I forgot what move, pile driver. And, you take a few days off and that's it because the
Mm,
show needs to go on. I know I heard well, actually, I was knocked out in the ring, completely knocked out. It was a run for the Rubies for the crown with Cheyenne
mm,
Share. And if you watch that match, you can see where I'm up against the ropes. She does a 3/4 kick, and you see I'm totally like blanked out. The
mm,
camera went to the audience. I was down on the ground. They didn't know if I could get up and finish that match. So everything
mm,
was kind of riding on that. Like, could I get up? So I got up, and when I was really mad. I was mad that I got knocked out. I'm like, you know what? You need to calm down, Cheyenne Share. We got to get through this. So I got up, and you could see in my eyes, and this is for real, that I was really mad. So every move I did, because I was just trying to stay focused and get through it, and I was trying to think, what am I going to do next? Just everything kind of when you've been wrestling for a little bit, you kind of go with it. And it looked really good because I was mad, and we got through it. And then Godiva, of course, came in and ruined my chance for the crown. But then something outside the ring happened where I got set up by Godiva, and I was really punching her.
oh, geez.
If you watch this, you have to see this match. Now that you
Send
have
me
the
if you find it
backstory.
on YouTube, send me it afterwards so I could watch it on my computer so I could
Oh,
watch the whole
it's
thing.
actually, yeah, I'll send you. It's on Tubi.com under Original Ladies of Wrestling.
Okay.
And
Not on
it's
YouTube? Not
um
actually on YouTube?
I don't there might be some on there, but the quality on Tubi is really, really good. But the
Okay.
Cheyenne Share and that one was really good. But Godiva and I, we were swinging, and she's talking to me like almost like, like calm down, like what's up? And I'm going for it. I'm
Oh,
just like
geez.
I went
Doing
off.
haymakers?
Oh yeah, you could see. And finally, we were kind of away from each other, and I just went and grabbed her by her neck. It's almost like something set off in me, because I was knocked out. And like, I didn't know what happened. I just went through it. We finished. I look back at it, and uh, it's a pretty good match.
Mm. It's
but
always good
but
to have a good
now
match,
you
you know
have a
what I
good
mean?
backstory to it now.
That's always good to have a good match because, like, us fans, we I know we expect a lot, but, like, with me, pro wrestling is always something that I have to go back to because, with a family member, like a grandfather that was a professional wrestler. He got me into it, and then I find out I had two other family members that were wrestlers. Pete Sanchez, which he wrestled till the '90s. He wrestled pretty much all the Golden Era wrestlers. Pretty much, hey, you can thank my cousin Pete Sanchez because you almost every 90% of you guys got in the Hall of Fame for beating him somehow. Um, so
Pete, wait, who was Pete Sanchez? That wasn't Pistol Pete, was it?
yes, that was him.
Oh my God, I knew him. I went out to lunch with him and Buddha. Do you remember Buddha?
Wow, it sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
They were really good friends. We went out to lunch because we were gonna work on something. I'm always working on something, and I think Debbie Miller was really good friends with Pistol Pete because and I'm gonna tell you this. Debbie Miller, who played Dallas, was the only true wrestler that
Oh
came into
wow,
club. She was the only one. So she was already kind of seasoned and like I kind of walked into it, and you'll hear other stories that we just kind of walked into it. But she was a true wrestler and a trainer for season 1.
wow.
Yeah.
So, like, to close this out, Roxy, if there's any young, actually, before one more person before we close out, I have to give a huge shout out to. She uses the same name, but she's in NWA. Riley Rocket,
Yeah.
aka now she's in NWA. She's using the name Roxy. She's part of Pretty Empowered.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, Roxy. Roxy.
I
She's using Pretty Empowered. She's part of the 3 woman team. Rock Pretty
that's
Empowered.
great. That's great. Hey,
They're
but
the
I
tag
gotta
team
tell you
champions.
something. If you know about NWA,
Yes.
hopefully I'm saying this. Polio Del Mar.
Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. Or Paul, he's amazing. He's part of this tag team, and we got interviewed at Oscars in Palm Springs, and he's a part of NWA. Did I say yeah? NWA,
Yeah, W. Yeah.
and May Valentine, and we met May Valentine. Do you know May Valentine?
The name sounds familiar. Like I heard the name somewhere. I think I've heard
No,
that name before.
yeah, she's everywhere now. She's yeah.
Mm.
There's a lot of good people that come out of there.
So my last question for you. This is for the if you ever had a young, I mean like 18, 19-year old that wanted to get into wrestling and didn't really know where to like turn and they saw you at a show and they came up to you, what kind of advice would you give them?
Okay, I feel like things have really changed now because life is a lot different. And I mean, number one, you've got to get trained. You got to find a really good school, and you've got to get trained right. That's number one. Uh, you have to, hit the indie shows. You have to get out there. I've seen, girls just starting out that were just, horrible, and then like a year later, I'm looking at them going, wow. So, you're not going to be perfect in the beginning. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have flub ups, but that's what's going to make you stronger and a better wrestler. You can't. And another thing, don't worry about what people think. If it's something that you want to do and it's a dream of yours, do it. Because everybody thought I was nuts when I tried out for Glow. My whole family, they're like, what's Glow? What are you doing? You're a hairdresser. Yeah, but that's boring. I want to do wrestling. So I end up doing the hair for Glow. But if it's really a passion, you go for it, because you can look back one day and go, you know what, I should have done it. I just should have done it. So find a school, keep at it, and unfortunately you'll probably have to get a day job, uh, because it doesn't pay that well. But if somebody sees you, or you somehow get discovered, or you really push through, like I did, it's worth it. Because look, we're talking about Glow 37 years later, so that's kind of a cool thing.
So before we go, Roxy, I want to thank you so much for doing this with me. I can't even tell you how proud I am about the women's revolution and what's going on in wrestling, and I'm so happy that you and the glow ladies, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, carried that torch for all these young and male and female wrestlers that like have are coming now that we're seeing, like the Danny Moes and the facades and all the wrestlers that are coming. Maybe during the end of the year, I can get a like a glow reunion here on Dudes at Ringside. Would you want to, maybe we could put something together?
Yeah, if some of the glow girls will will stop fighting and get it together.
This could be like a Maury thing.
Oh
All
no,
right.
this is a Jerry Springer thing.
Oh God. All right. I'm Joe Panther the third, and that's awesome, Roxy. And we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.